In every republic, in every age, there lies a test, not of comfort, but of character, not of ease, but of endurance. The fate of freedom rests not in the hands of the critic, nor the cynic who mocks from the shadows, but in those who dare greatly. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. The man who does nothing cuts himself off from his people and from the best things in life. The man who refuses labor because it is hard, or service because it is unpraised, will never know the joy of those who build. The man who has never known toil, who has lived only in the pursuit of pleasure, is a poor and useless creature. The first duty of every citizen is that he shall work, not for himself alone, but for the good of all. The man who lives only for ease, who shirks from effort and discipline, is already a failure in the eyes of free men. Our republic calls not for spectators, but for participants, not for comfort, but for courage. The success of a nation depends upon the character of its citizens. A strong nation is built not by wealth, but by men and women of high purpose, who practice self-restraint, who do not shrink from duty, and who stand firm when others fall silent. To educate a man in mind and not in morals is to prepare a menace to society. We need honesty more than cleverness. We need service more than success. We need the spirit of sacrifice more than the lust for gain. The great test of citizenship is not how we act when things are easy, but how we endure when the world seems lost. The timid will stand aside, content to jeer or to doubt. But the brave will press forward, willing to fail greatly that others might rise. There is no achievement without risk, no virtue without trial, no freedom without duty. Each generation must prove worthy of the heritage it inherits, and every man must earn his place among those who dared. The man who is in the arena, who strives, who bleeds, who endures, is the truest guardian of the republic. He may fail, he may fall, but he dares, and in daring he redeems not only himself, but the nation that remembers him, strength, duty, honor. These are not words for the past one, but for those still willing to enter the arena. This is citizenship in a republic.